Because I think we can run our city.
Yes, good afternoon. It's November 10th, 2025, and here at the Stanislaus.
Can you please use your mic, Mr. Chair? Please use your mic.
Turn it on. Sorry about that. It's November 10th, 2025, and here at the Stanislaus Council of Governments Executive Committee meeting. We go ahead and have a call to order and roll call, please.
Chair Condit.
Here.
Member Chiesa.
Here.
Vice Chair Carr. Member Swallen.
Here.
And Member Hernandez. We have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to move to public comments. Members of the public may address the committee on any item not on the agenda. Comments shall be limited to 5 minutes. Do we have any public comments?
We do.
Yeah, come on up.
Good, beautiful afternoon. Denny Jackman, former Modesto City Council member and member of the Policy Board 20 years ago. And so I've been, the thing I wanted to talk about this afternoon was the connectivity study of 132 and SR 99, and particularly on the east side of Freeway 99 where it connects to the overpass to go to 132, the plan that's going in there. And the plans I saw at a meeting on the west side recently that Supervisor Withrow presented, they gave me some maps and I've been communicating with them on emails. The concern I have is about the what they're calling the braided ramps. They have exit, I guess. One thing that they didn't tell the public at that meeting was that the Central Modesto on-ramp is going to be closed. And that would have, I imagine, raised a bit of a furor until they explain that it's basically going to be continued. Instead of going on at I Street, it'll be continued and go on underneath Kansas, and which is all good. I think both Chris Murphy and I recommended that like 20 years ago. My concern was what came up was, I think, Caltrans resistance to have a kind of a dual connecting feature from 6th Street to connect onto the 132 swing over. In other words, they want, I suspect, I haven't got communications back from the engineer, but right now the way it's planned is they would, northbound 99 would exit around M Street and go up and over and connect on westbound 132, which is something we've been trying to get ever since, well, 1953. But in that, I think that I would recommend that instead of doing an additional off-ramp that goes from northbound 99 to Kansas, they instead of doing that, because they have it come off of Freeway 99 about M Street, and instead of doing that, they can move it up to where they're taking out, their plans is to take out the on-ramp from I Street. And so what I'm suggesting is they could literally exit Freeway 99 just after we pass under I Street, and then come up and join 6th Street before it gets to K Street, where there's a bridge. So they've got literally have 2 full city blocks in order to come off of the freeway. And by doing that, then you can eliminate the braided ramps. You wouldn't have to do the crossover again, because you could come up onto 6th Street and then you'd be lined up with 6th Street. And then after you got past the lights at L Street, you could do whatever you wanted to. You could go on to the freeway, go to 99 straight ahead, or you go off to the 132 connecting, going on the overpass, or you could continue on to Kansas. Right now, the way it's set up is with this T at Kansas and Needham, it causes us West Siders a whole lot of congested problems. And you can imagine what happens if it continues, that all those trucks, that some of them are now spilling off, taking 132, the old Mays Boulevard, still doing that. But it's almost made worse by them going up to that intersection at Needham and 132, the new connection, because it backs up traffic backing all the way up to Kansas, and it happens all the time. So that's my recommendation. I wanted to get it on record that I'm recommending that, because I'm going to follow up with the engineers, hopefully, and see why it isn't that they cannot do an off-ramp at I Street to replace the on-ramp that's there. And that will allow us to avoid a significant cost, because those braided ramps, you can imagine, doing all this kind of stuff really costs a whole lot of money. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Denny, and I appreciate your emails, and I've forwarded them to Tony Harris, and
Oh, thank you.
I think you have emailed Mr. Harris also, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. Did you understand him?
Somewhat.
It's
I had to
difficult.
get walked through it.
It's difficult to explain it in text, but
I appreciate it.
give it a try. I try to use all the acronyms I can.
Thanks, Danny. Thank you for being here. Any other public comment? Anything online? Okay. All right, seeing no other public comment, I'm going to go ahead and move to consent calendar. Any executive member like to remove anything from consent? Have discussed. Any public comment on anything on consent? Seeing none, I'm going to bring it back to the board for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent calendar.
Got a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. All right, moving on to discussion. Motion to recommend the policy board approve by resolution the revived state of good repair fund allocation for fiscal year 24-25. Jean Fletta.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm so sorry that I'm not there, but you could probably hear my voice. I'm not feeling up to par and didn't want to share anything that I might have. So please bear with me as I present virtually. Next slide, please. So the State of Good Repair program, just a bit about it. It was established by SB 1 and excuse me, provides 105 million annually statewide, which supports transit, maintenance, rehabilitation, capital projects, things like that. The funds are distributed to the regional transit planning agencies using service-based and population-based formulas. Eligible State of Good Repair projects include maintain or repair transit vehicles and facilities, designing or acquiring construction vehicles, facilities that improve existing services, and to support transit services that complement local infrastructure. Next slide, please. So this is the annual process just written out. So in January, the State Controller Office, or SCO, releases a preliminary State of Good Repair estimates for the upcoming fiscal year. In January to July, STANCOG meets with the local agencies to discuss the projects and funding priorities. And then in August, the SCO issues a revised estimate based on updated revenue data. And then in September, STANCOG submits the board-approved project list to Caltrans. Next slide. So the reason we're bringing this to you is staff identified a $70,000 correction under section 99313. That amount was inadvertently allocated to Stan RTA instead of Turlock. The correction that we're proposing today will fund Turlock's bus stop maintenance and rehabilitation project. And below you can see the math there for the 99313 and 99314, the original budget. Next slide. So to reallocate 70, what we want to do today is reallocate 70,000 from Stan RTA to Turlock. We'll amend the 24-25 state of good repair project list allocations. And then we'll also include the 2024, the August 2024 state controller office, the new estimates, so that everything will be updated. And then the total, excuse me, estimated SGR funds available for the Stanislaus County will be approximately, that is the type of the 1.2 or 1022 is a typo. I'll get to that on the next page. The updated estimates reflect an overall increase of $63,752,000. Next slide. So this slide shows the corrections that need to be made today. Again, the 70,000 from Turlock to from StanRTA to Turlock. The revised estimates, we will get 63,752, like I just said. 60,000 and some change under 99,314, and then 3,412 under 99,315, giving us a total of $1,022,295. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Jean. Any questions from the board?
Hey, Gene, on the 70,000, go back to the first slide. Was it 6,000? No, it's 3,000. I just don't, the numbers don't add up correctly to me.
Yeah, so the first slide is showing you what we had before. This is what it looked like before. The 99,314 and 99,313 were both allocated to StanRTA. We need to give Turlock that 70,000, which we had not done at that point. So now if you go to the last slide, it shows that the Turlock is now getting their $70,000.
But it looks like StanRTA's total on the right-hand side from the first slide was 955, and now it's 948.
Yeah, that
So the 99314 changes too.
yeah, the theirs went down a bit because we had to reallocate, remember, the money from StanRTA to Turlock. And then we added back in the 24-25 allocation of the 63,000. So that's how you're getting those numbers.
When the state controller office kind of did their true up and provided us the more accurate numbers for the 99,313 and 99,314, we got an increase of 63,000. So yeah,
That
so
explains it.
that comes into the reallocation, not just a straight deduction of 70 from StanRTA. We have the 63,000 to add in. That's why you see the slight increase.
Monica, can you please speak closer to the microphone?
In the overall allocation for the two fund sources.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any questions from the public on this agenda item? Anything online? Okay, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion or further discussion if you have any further questions.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay, motion to recommend the policy board approve the 2026 executive committee meeting schedule. Jean Flynn. Back on.
Great, thank you so much. So here before you is the recommended 2026 meeting schedule. We're still proposing to meet on the first Monday of the month at 12. There are a couple of exceptions in September and then October. This is due to a holiday or a calendar conflict. So we move, you'll note that we usually move those from Monday to Thursdays, and that's what we did here. And I would be happy to answer any questions you might have about the calendar.
Any questions for Jane?
I would just say that always the first week in December is CSAC, and I'm not sure League of Cities, but we can cross that bridge because that's a long ways away.
Okay.
Any questions from the public? Online? All right, bring it back for a motion.
Motion to approve.
First,
I'll second it.
second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. All right, draft November board agenda, Jean Coletta.
Hi again. So before you is our draft of the policy board meeting for November 19th. Of note, if you could go to the next slide, please. You'll see that there is a presentation. Maybe it's a slide back. I don't see it there. Presentation. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there we go. The presentation from Gus Corey for the end of session review. And then if you could please go to the next slide. We will be having a closed session on that calendar or at that meeting as well. And I'd be happy to answer questions or move anything around that you might think that we need to or add anything.
I have one question regarding 6C, the contract.
Mhm.
What is that? What is
That contract is for Kate Miller. Our
Oh,
new
all right.
intern. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, any other questions or additions or subtractions or movement on the agenda you'd like to see?
Mr. Chair, thank you. I think we will also be having some additional resolutions of necessity for our State Route 132 project. I apologize if we inadvertently failed to list that here, but that is a possibility as well.
Okay, I'd like to, if we do have, I'd like to see those at the beginning of discussion items. So if there's public here that they don't have to sit through that the rest of the agenda to get to it. So I'd like to see that at the beginning, if at all possible.
Will you please say what are they called? Something of necessity?
Resolution.
Resolutions of necessity. Thank you.
All right, any questions from the public on this agenda item? Anything online? I'll bring it back to board promotion. Oh, that's right. No action. Sorry about that. Okay. We are at the interim executive director report. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you so much. Well, good afternoon. I really appreciate the warm welcome that the board and staff have given me since I've been here. My apologies for not being there today. I had a previous commitment to attend the Focus on the Future conference, which is the Self-Help County Coalition's annual conference for counties that have their own sales tax for transportation, as you probably already know. I'm also going to miss the policy board this month because, again, I had a previous travel commitment, but I will participate online. I just won't be there in person. So I spent my first week at StanCog meeting with senior staff, reviewing policies, understanding budget and accounting processes, and I'm working on scheduling meetings with the city manager and members of the county executive staff. I have also scheduled meetings with Stanislaus Regional Transit and Turlock Transit managers, and I'm going to focus this week on scheduling individual meetings with board members to solicit your input and vision on things that we might want to do moving forward. Also in the news is Jose Luis Caceres represented StanCog last month at the CTC meeting in Merced. The California Transportation Commission allocated $4.6 million roughly in local partnership formula program funds for the State Route 132 West project. And that is also funds, these funds are generated or part of Senate Bill 1, and we receive it based on formula how much our sales tax generates in relationship to other sales taxes and eligible revenues in the state. As a reminder, the policy board voted in November to program these funds to the State Route 132 West project. This CTC action is culmination of months of staff time and multiple meetings to program and then allocate these funds. The Amtrak service connecting the Central Valley to the bay known as the San Joaquins is being rebranded to the Gold Runner. And some good news is Caltrans is supporting the Interregional Transportation Improvement Program funds for the Gold Runner second platforms at Modesto, Turlock, and Denier stations, which includes constructing second track platforms at those stations. The second track will improve efficiency movement for both passenger and freight traffic. And the improvements will also set the groundwork for future service enhancements, including long-term goal of hourly passenger service. The proposed programming amount is, we would move forward with the 2026 ITIP and is for $16.4 million. Stacy Mortensen retired on August 31st after 27 years serving as the executive director of the San Joaquin Regional Rail Commission. On behalf of the board and staff at StanCog, we wish to acknowledge her many years of service and congratulate her on her retirement. And then a quick update on the federal shutdown, which seems to be changing minutely. But the federal government shutdown has now reached its 41st day and surpassing the prior record of 35 days and becoming the longest in U.S. history. Yesterday, the Senate Appropriations Committee unveiled a 3-bill minibus package intended to accompany a new continuing resolution. If passed and enacted, it would provide a full year appropriations for fiscal year 2026 at current funding levels. The agreement, however, does not address the expiring Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, which, as you know, is a contentious issue for Dems. Senate Republicans had purportedly offered to hold a vote on the extension to the Affordable Care Act prior to the year-end expiration, but that has not been universally supported by the Republican leadership in the House. So the 7-week CR previously passed by the House expires on November 21st. House Majority Leader Johnson would need to reconvene the House to consider any bill that emerges from the Senate after securing 60 votes, which require at least 7 Democrats to join the GOP leaders to take this step forward and to reopen the government. So we'll keep you posted on that. Things moving very rapidly, as you know. And then Gus Corey, who is our state advocate, will be providing a comprehensive legislative update at the full board at the policy board on November 19th. And that concludes my interim executive director report. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Kate. Any questions for Kate?
We're just glad you're on board. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kate. That was a great update. Any member reports?
Just quickly, welcome, Kate. Glad to have you. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person and having that time together. I did attend Stacy Mortensen's retirement event, and it was much fanfare and really great to see her have the support that she did. We will certainly miss her and all the help that she gave us for StanCog. That's it.
And kind of working backwards, just want to welcome Kate as well as one of the representatives on the ad hoc committee for the interim and the permanent executive director position. We're working hard with our consultant Pam to have both things moving, and we're really excited to have Kate. As you can probably tell from her report out, she's passionate, knowledgeable, and really is prioritizing the relationships here at StanCog and within the county. So want to welcome her and looking forward to working together.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to adjournment. We're going to adjourn and go into closed session. We do have closed session.
So the executive committee will now adjourn to closed session to discuss item 8A as identified on the agenda.
Okay, we are reconvening from closed session and there is no reportable action, so we will be adjourned.